I was using my wife's phone for the Facebook Live, and it didn't work out. So this proves that iPhones are better. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, I do apologize, but we're gonna get this right on this feed. Gigi, if you're watching, I want to thank you for letting me know that that was backwards, because if I would have went through this whole presentation and it was backwards the whole time, I would have been livid. All right. Anyway, what I want to focus on today is we're really focused on the dough chaser mentality. Okay. As you can see, I got my dough chaser shirt on, and I want to help you retrain your brain. Okay. And what we're going to talk about is what credit should not be used for. Okay. If you can read this correctly on Facebook, give me a thumbs up, give me a 1, give me something, give me a heart. Let me know that you can actually read this material. Okay. That lets me know that my camera is no longer backwards, because I would hate to go throughout this whole presentation and the camera is backwards. Okay. So let me know. Okay. Anyway, today we are influencing your mind with the dough chaser mindset. See that? See what I got? Okay. So we're talking about what credit should not be used for. And the reason this topic is so important today, earlier I was with a staff member of mine, and we were talking about, his credit and his goals. And I was, intrigued to ask him what his credit utilization was looking like. And by surprise, it was a little higher than what we recommend around here. I challenged him, and I told him, you got to learn to stop using other people's money just to pay them back interest. What's the point to borrow $500 from me just to say, oh, Jason, I'll pay you 25% next month? Who does that? Nobody does that in real life. And that's actually what people do when they use their credit. Okay? And what I want you to do is to change the way you think about your credit and begin to use it for your gain. Okay? So what we're going to talk about is what credit should not be used for. Okay? I have some interesting topics. We're going to talk about each of them. And hopefully this helps you understand how you should use your credit. And how to get a better, reaction from it, okay? So, number 1, your credit should not be used for an extension of your money. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes it's more month than it is money. And they, acquire a line of credits for the sole purpose of using those line of credits to pay the bills, okay? And the whole mindset is, oh, I'll pay it at a later date, I'll be fine. But what really happens is they get deeper in debt and find themselves with 6, 7 credit cards that they're shuffling around trying to pay the minimum due every month, and then their credit is shot, okay? And then they can no longer use it when it's time to actually use that for a real goal, okay? So first thing first, your credit should not be used for an extension of your money. Credit should be used for leverage, okay? What do I mean by that? I mean that when you use your credit, you're actually getting something out of that, okay? When you use your credit to extend your money, you're not getting anything out of that but more debt. And we don't want that, okay? We don't want to leverage our credit for more debt. That's stupid. We don't do stupid things around here, right? Exactly. We want to use our credit for leverage, okay, for power. And when you are deeper in debt and you're using your credit to hurt your finances, you're losing your power. Don't use your credit as an extension of your money, because you're only going to dig a deeper hole for yourself that's going to be hard to climb out. Okay? Be smart with your money. You need to focus on, structuring a budget for yourself, restructuring your banking so that you can set your money up to work for you. Okay? Now, we're going to be sharing information that's going to help you all who are struggling with their finances, struggling budgeting their money. I'm going to teach you how to do that at a later date. But for now, I need you to understand that you have to stop using your money, using your credit as an extension of your money. It is not an extension of your money. We are not borrowing money from other people just to pay them back interest. That's stupid. We don't want to do that, okay? We want to use it for leverage. So, number 1, credit should not be used for an extension of your money. Number 2, your credit should not be used for your emergency fund. What I mean by that is people have this bad habit of preparing themselves, okay? They'll spend money on vacations. They'll spend money on down payments for ridiculous cars. They'll spend money on, new handbags, new shoes, whatever it may be, except the security of their finances. Instead of you building up an emergency fund, solidifying your foundation, you'll rather use your credit for your emergency fund. What that does is that puts you in a deeper hole. Got in a car accident, I got to pay a $1,000 deductible. I'm just going to use my credit because I don't have an emergency fund. And now you have to charge $1,000 to your credit card. One, you're going to get charged ridiculous interest. And then 2, now you have to pay that additional bill. And you shouldn't have to pay that additional bill if you treated yourself as a bill. Pay yourself first. And the fact that you're not paying yourself first and you're using your credit as an emergency fund, you are putting yourself in a worse predicament. And what we have to do is we have to be strategic with our credit and use it for leverage. We need it as power, okay? And right now, instead of you activating your own power, you are activating the power of corporations. They're making money off of you. You should be making money off of yourself, okay? So what we should not be doing with our credit is using it as an emergency fund. Work on getting your priorities right. Focus on solidifying an emergency fund first, and then maybe focus on that vacation, okay? I know some of you are thinking, like, Jason, I deserve a vacation, but you also deserve that emergency fund, okay? Because at the end of the day, your family security is more important than leisure. I'm just being real. Can I get an amen? All right, so the first reason is, it should not be an extension of your money. It should not be your emergency fund. And then lastly, to keep it real with you, credit should not be used for liabilities. Jason, what is a liability? A liability is something that I pay into but doesn't give me a return. Okay? What's the opposite of liability? An asset. Something that I pay into and gives me a greater return. Basically, it makes me money. Liabilities don't make you money, okay? Now, I know a lot of you are looking to, buy a car, buy something, buy a toy, whatever it may be, make a big purchase. However, if you're not using that purchase to make more money, that is now taking away money from you. And at the end of the day, I see all the time people sharing posts about, the American dream, how we're not able to live that American dream because we have all these expenses. But nobody is forcing you to create all these expenses in your life. You're doing that. And the reason you're doing that is because you're brainwashed by corporations, okay? Now, look at the difference between how the average person uses credit and versus a wealthy person, okay? The average person will use credit, you probably can't see this, but to look rich. Okay? The average person is using that to enhance their lifestyle, to, look better to their peers. The average person is trying to look rich when it comes to their credit. They're trying to get a fancier car, okay? However, what do the wealthy do? They use credit to stay rich. Instead of investing in liabilities, they invest in assets. They invest in things that are going to make them more money. The average person invests in things that are going to take away their money, okay? And that's the reason why you're not living the American dream, because you keep on acquiring expenses that take away from what you could be building with, okay? So we have to be more strategic with our thinking, and instead of using our dollar to buy things that are going to take more money away from us continuously, we need to use our dollar to buy things that are going to bring more money into our pockets. That way we can live the American dream, okay? And the thing about credit is corporations have created credit to help us live the American dream lifestyle. Jason, I noticed that you don't got any money, but we can offer you this line of credit and you can just pay us for the next 5 years of interest. How about that? And we say yeah to it. And then we end up paying thousands of dollars in interest instead of using that credit to build wealth, okay? And the average person will use credit to look rich, to get liabilities, and a wealthy person will use credit to stay rich, to make more money, okay? You see how there's a difference in the thinking? So what we have to do is be more strategic with how we use our credit. We need to use credit as leverage. Credit is power. But in order for you to activate that power, you need to make better decisions, okay? I know it sounds like I'm preaching to you, but hey, somebody has to tell you this, okay? We need to be more strategic and begin to use our credit to make us more money. Because at the end of the day, we can, march all day, but if we're not doing anything to make our situation better, then what are we really doing? Except wasting time. Okay? We need to focus on using credit as leverage, as power to make more money for ourselves, our family, and our community, to be honest. Okay? So this is what credit should not be used for. And as you can understand this and begin to implement this into your dough chaser mindset, you'll begin to get better results from your finances. Okay? So that's what I want you to think of is how can you use money, your credit, not as an extension of your money. You need to focus on creating a budget, restructuring your finances, and just finding a way so that you can use the money that you do bring home, make that work, okay? And sometimes that means that you have to sacrifice. If you're not willing to make a sacrifice, what you want will be the sacrifice. So, we have to basically make better decisions and find ways where we can use what we already have. We got to find ways to make that work. Also, credit should not be used as an emergency fund. So you need to focus your priorities on what's important to you and your family. Okay? A vacation is nice. However, financial security is better. Okay? That should be the priority. Not using your credit as your emergency fund. Okay? And then lastly, liabilities, they're cute, but what are they really doing for you except taking money out of your life? Okay? We need to focus on using our credit as leverage so that we can get more assets. Okay? So I want you to focus on that, and instead of trying to look rich, how about we use it to get rich? Again, my name is Jason White, CEO and founder of Witness Riches, the 700 Club. Hopefully this information has been helpful and inspires you to make a change in your life and begin to use credit as leverage instead of a tool by the corporations to keep us in debt. You know how to reach us. Be a dough chaser. I'm out. Peace.